Welcome, Australia. I'm Sarah Sands, and I'm co-hosting this special opportunity call with my business partner, Halia Fairley. For those who don't know us, I'm a scientist, educator, entrepreneur, and Halia is an Ayurvedic practitioner, shamanic midwife, and fertility expert. And we're both mums who care immensely about our family's health and wellness. And we have recently joined a new company launching in Australia called Vaseo that has a suite of seriously disruptive products that target brain health, sleep function, energy, joint health, inflammation, general well-being, weight loss, and more. And today, we're so lucky to be joined by our company's Chief Scientific Advisor and Product Formulator, Tracy Gibbs, all the way from the US, although he's actually currently in Macau, I think, for this recording.
Yeah.
Tracy is a pharmacognosist. I believe I have that right, and has previously done work for over 60 companies in over 16 countries. I think, is that right? Does that sound about right, Tracy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, would love to hear from you a little bit about who you are and your background, and what you do here at Vaseo.
All right. Well, yeah, just as you said, I'm currently the Chief Scientific Advisor for Vaseo and the formulator of the products behind the company. It's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for about 24 years as far as formulating dietary supplements, OTCs, and cosmetic products. I am a pharmacognosist, which a lot of people don't know what that is. They think, oh, it's a pharmacist. It's totally different. A pharmacist, kind of dispenses the drugs. Your doctor prescribes the drug. The pharmacognosist is the guy who goes out and discovers the new drug chemicals, typically phytochemicals from plants. About 96% of the drugs on the market have their origins in a plant. Only about 3 or 4% have their origins in animals. Like hormone products, hormone patches and things like that are animal-based, but most of your drugs are plant-based. So that's what I study. That's organic chemistry and ethnobotany. So you mentioned you're an Ayurvedic practitioner. Of course, I had to study Ayurvedic medicine and the different properties of the Indian bases in fire and water and things like that for healing. But then I go deeper and study the active phytochemical ingredients of the plants that they use, take those back to the lab, and then figure out why they work. And then develop ways of delivery technologies to get those to people, whether it's in a cream form or a capsule form or a drink or, injectables, things like that. So that's what I've been doing for my entire adult life.
Wow. Sounds awesome. Actually, inspired me to potentially take on a second career at some point later in my life.
Yeah, I love the ancient wisdom is meeting the modern science here.
Yeah, exactly. That's especially that my fields of topic were ethnobotany, which is the traditional use of plants as food and medicine in cultures and societies around the world. So I got a lot of the ethnic original uses of plants, along with the history and the different types of medicine, like Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, Japanese Kampo medicine. And then, combine that with the science of organic chemistry and figuring out why those plants work. Because they do work. The reason why they've been used in history for thousands of years is because they work. How they work and why they work is where the organic chemistry side comes in. So.
Yeah, well, particularly here in Australia, our soil is lacking essential nutrients and vitamins and minerals. So we're not getting enough nutrients from our food anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So our lifestyles are more and more toxic, our systems are compromised, and we need support. We need to detox and we need supplementation. So that's why we're really excited about this company and these products.
Mm-hmm.
These products are so unique, and I'd love to hear more about these products from you.
Yeah, and what you mentioned is actually a global issue. It is not just an Australian issue. In fact, in the United States, we had, in our history, we had something called the Dust Bowl in the 1930s, where a good portion of the topsoil was blown away, taken away, ended up in New York City and the Atlantic Ocean, and our soil really has not recovered from that. And just like in Australia, the farmers there use modern technology to try to replace nutrients, but they focus on basically potassium, calcium, and nitrate, and that's about it, not the other 72 trace minerals that are necessary for healthy human health, and not sustainable growing methods. So and same things happening in China, same things happening in Russia, in the bread belt in Ukraine. It's a global problem. And, we can eat ourselves to death, literally, because of the lack of nutrients in our food and, genetic modifications and pesticides and herbicides use thereof. And we can get into that in detail, but we're not here to talk about that. I think everybody knows that's kind of a problem. Everybody knows what genetic modification is, and they know that our soils are depleted and things. So let's, I guess, talk about ways that we can
find solutions,
improve upon that through supplements. That's what the word dietary supplement means. It is to supplement your diet. It doesn't replace your diet, but it adds the nutrients that are lacking in your foods back into your diet.
Awesome. So maybe we can talk a little bit about sourcing and where products start from, I guess.
Yeah, so I've been in this industry a long time, right? 24 years. I've formulated products for a lot of companies, and most companies, they'll pay sourcing lip service. They all say, oh, we source from reputable suppliers and we've got the best. Everybody says they have the best, right? It's just not true. I have worked for many, many companies, as you mentioned, in over 16 countries, and most of them care about the bottom line price more than anything. And even as a formulator, again, it was my job to formulate products, and I would have to present products that I'd formulated to these companies, and they'd ask about sourcing, they would ask about quality, and then they'd ask about price. And when the quality and sourcing was good and the price was high, they would always compromise to try to get that down, because you can't have high quality and low price. That's an oxymoron in this industry. So it doesn't happen, period. Okay. So when Dallin Larson first called me and said, hey, we'd like you to produce formulas for our company, he mentioned that he heard that I had some unique delivery systems in liposomal technology and nanotechnology, which we'll get into a little bit later. But then he asked me one more thing that wasn't normal, that other companies have asked me before, but I've said no. But Dallin said, and we'd like you to come on board as our chief scientific advisor and be our spokesperson for the company. And wheels started going off in my head thinking, oh no, what about all my other contracts and royalties that I'm receiving? What about my research and development company if I'm stuck with just one, but I was at the point in my career where I returned a question to Dallin. I said, Dallin, what's your goal for this company? And he said, well, my history. I've created 2 other billion-dollar companies. I don't need the money anymore. It's not about the money. I want to build a legacy company. I just want the best products. And I said, do you really want the best? If you really want the best, I can do that. And I would love to give you the best products. Let me pick the ingredients. Let me formulate the way I want to. And yeah, they might be more expensive to manufacture. And he said, well, look, with this company, we can make things work. I can adjust margins. I can adjust payouts. I can adjust PV. I can do things to get my brand partners the best products. And so over, several weeks of talking, I realized that he was sincere and legitimate in his desire to have the best products. So I chose to give up some of my other contracts and things and come on board with Vaseo. So I can tell you truly that we are very strict in our sourcing. Again, over 24 years of experience, I've been doing this. I know who's got the best ingredients. We pick patented ingredients, clinically proven ingredients. Some of our ingredients are branded even from large supply chain companies. We were able to negotiate exclusive for some of those, not exclusive for others, but we still include them in the formulas because they're clinically proven and researched. And yes, the manufacturing cost of our products is more expensive, but this is where Dallin worked some magic. Our retail price does not reflect our manufacturer price. I mean, yes, we are not cheap products, except for the Core Complete, which I'll talk about later. Core Complete should be selling, if it was standard traditional margins, you should be paying $250 for that product.
You know,
and you're
on that trade,
yeah.
Core, after I started taking Core, I was paying over $200 a month for an equivalent sort of product, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's $65, which is ridiculously, you know.
It's ridiculously cheap, and I've had people question our integrity and our quality because of that product. But what you need to understand is Dallin kind of created that product as a loss leader because he wanted 1 million people on AutoShip on that product, because it's just what we talked about. Our soils are depleted, our food's bad. This is your basic nutrition. That's why we call it the Core Complete. It's what everybody should be on, from your 10-year-old child to your 80-year-old grandmother. They should all be taking Core Complete because we need it. And so there's not huge profit margins on that product. And we think it's a great product for people to start on and understand how effective our products are, how well they work, how good they are, and that'll lead them into our other products, which are more specialized, like our sleep and our renew for inflammation and things. And it's working out that way. We don't have everybody on Core Complete yet, but we hope to soon.
Well, we have launched into China, so that's a lot of people that could be taking Core.
It is, and it's equally growing with our American market too. So Dan Zhu is our president of Asia, and he's doing a great job marketing over there. In fact, I think our sales pretty much in China equal what's going on in the US right now. So
great, yeah, because we are in Australia, we are in the Asia Pacific region, so that's really exciting for us to hear, actually. Now, you did sort of mention it. Now, the products aren't necessarily certified organic, because we understand it's kind of a complicated process and not always what it says it is either, right?
Well, and not just that, our goal is to be a global company, and certified organic is USDA certified organic, but the organic certification might be totally different in New Zealand or Australia or Japan for that matter. So instead of, again, trying to comply with every single country's regulations, we actually just go above and beyond organic certification. And again, with my sourcing, that's quite easy. We source non-GMO ingredients, we source pesticide-free, herbicide-free, and we actually have to test for all of those things. We even do DNA fingerprinting on our ingredients. So for example, if we've got a barley grass powder coming in from Canada, we do a DNA fingerprinting on that to make sure it's barley grass and not somebody's mowed lawn cuttings or or alfalfa or something else. So we know that it's, yes. Yeah, and again, even in the United States, the USDA organic certification, I don't want to call it a joke, because I don't want to diss them or discredit them in any way, but there are many approved herbicides and pesticides that are approved organic that I don't agree with. And so, we test for benzoic acids and sorbic acids, tetracyclines, things like that sometimes are even found naturally in plants, but we make sure that they're not above certain levels, which guarantees the potency and purity of our plants as well. So we do test above and beyond what most countries' organic certified ingredient testing, so we call it organic compliant instead of organic certified, because we don't want to go through the certification process in each country.
Yeah, that's very important to us, I think, as moms particularly. We try to strive for an organic diet and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so exciting. Now, Halia, you have experience with turmeric.
Yeah, I have been formulating my own turmeric capsules, but I'm really interested in the Renew products that's replace my turmeric capsulating. Just interested to know more about the curcumin extract and the liposomal properties of the other ingredients in that blend. I'm really loving it, so I'd love to hear more about it.
And all the blends, right? They all have like quite a specific compounding and system that, aside from being superior sourcing and all of that, they actually have a technology. they get right into the body. And we always sort of talk about, it's not about what you eat, it's about what you absorb. So yeah, maybe you can speak a bit more about that.
Yeah, and not just absorption, it's about what you assimilate. So you guys are going to have to speak up a little bit. I can barely hear you.
Yeah.
But I think I caught the gist of your question. You want to talk a little bit about our formulas, our compounding, what makes them unique. For example, the curcumin in our Renew, et cetera, right? You want me to touch on that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I shouldn't say one of the things. There are lots of things that make Vaseo products unique and better. We talked about the sourcing, we talked about the quality controls, which most companies pay lip service to. We actually do it. Again, my name's behind these products. I'm the face here doing these things. Dallin has a reputation to protect, so it's not just lip service at Vaseo. We truly do have high quality and superior quality products. But that literally is just scratching the surface of how deep our quality is. One of the things I should mention, number 2 thing that makes our products unique is the compounding. Again, my background is a pharmacognosist. I have an expertise in compounding, meaning that I can use similar ingredients from the plant kingdom and make 1 + 1 = 8 sometimes, or 1 + 1 = 16. Because curcumin is such a popular item in Australia right now, I think a lot of people are aware that curcumin has next to zero bioavailability, right? It's less than 5% bioavailable, which is why people get unique in their delivery systems. There was a clinical study that said, hey, if you add black pepper to a curcumin, it enhances or increases the bioavailability by almost 100%. So when you think about that, that means that if you take curcumin and it's only 5% bioavailable, when you increase it by 100%, it's now 10% bioavailable. That still means 90% of your product is being flushed down the toilet, okay? So Australia has an expensive sewer system right now because of everybody doing the curcumin smoothies and curcumin shakes and curcumin capsules and everything. You're wasting 90% of your money. And this is common knowledge in the scientific industry, especially in my field in pharmacognosy. There are many, many cool ingredients out there that when taken orally don't get absorbed by the cell or don't even make it to the bloodstream. Resveratrol is less than 1% bioavailable. Curcumin's only 5% bioavailable. Lutein's about 5% bioavailable because it's a very large molecule. Glutathione is 0% bioavailable, and yet you see glutathione supplements selling in health food stores all the time because of all these in vitro clinical studies, meaning studies outside of the human body on cell cultures that show amazing properties, and yet people don't realize that in vitro is not in vivo. It doesn't mimic that in the human body when you ingest it. In fact, it just ends up going into the sewer system. Or being destroyed by the digestive tract. This is something I've been researching and studying my entire career. In fact, advanced delivery technology is one of the first things I started working on, even at a very young age of 25 years old. By the time I was 32, I had a patent on an advanced delivery technology using enzymes to break down nutrients and get them into the bloodstream faster. Once I received that patent, I started studying nanotechnology and liposome technology, or what's called solid lipid nanoparticles, or liposomes. There's lots of different types of nano delivery mechanisms, and I've been researching those, for the last 8 to 10 years now. And that's what I introduced to Dallin, and that's what he said he wanted. He wanted an advanced delivery technology. And so I encourage all of you guys to Google liposome technology. Get on Wikipedia. Wikipedia has a great definition of liposome technology. It's a technology that's been used by the pharmaceutical industry for about 30 or 40 years now on difficult to absorb drugs like chemotherapy drugs. In fact, there's a popular breast cancer drug that uses liposome technology. There's allergy medications that use liposome technology. There's pain medications that use liposome technology. It's real. It's a real technology that drug companies use to increase efficacy and reduce the dose. So imagine if I could take curcumin at 1,000 milligrams, and since you make your own capsules and everything, 1,000 milligrams is a pretty good dose for curcumin, right? In fact, much more than that, and you're just kind of have yellow sewage, right? But I have a clinical study that shows that liposomal curcumin is 1,000 times more efficacious than a DMSO, which is a highly bioavailable form of curcumin. 1,000 times. So 1 milligram of Vaseo curcumin would be equal to 1,000 milligrams of your capsule curcumin, even if you added bioperine or black pepper extract or something like that. That's how cool a technology, liposome technology is. And that's the third thing that sets our products apart. The quality control, the sourcing, and then our combinations of how 1 + 1 can equal 8, because I use, for example, in Renew, I have ginger extract, I have resveratrol, and I have curcumin. All three of those anti-inflammatory ingredients, multiple clinical studies for cancer and things like that. I have all three of those in a liposome technology. So, sourcing, combinations, and advanced delivery technology. We have no competition, you guys. Vaseo products are amazing. And I'll draw the line in the sand with anybody who wants to disagree with me. Get them on a Zoom call, get them on a Facebook Live, whatever. I'll tell them why our products are better and give them the scientific support to back it up.
Yeah, well, we are definitely excited about that. It ticks all the boxes for us, that's for sure. Now, you talked a little bit about patents as well, and we have a very special patented product, a CBD product.
Yeah.
This is obviously not available in Australia because it's a Schedule 4 drug, so I guess it's technically illegal. But CBD is a big buzzword here. We're hoping that the laws around this will change very soon. It is a bit of a political issue, but we won't go into that kind of thing. But we are a global business, a global company, and we can't access it, that our family and friends can't access it in other countries. So maybe you could share a little bit about that. It's only just launched a couple of months ago, I believe, and I know that we are so excited to eventually legally get our hands on some of that one.
Yeah, and CBD has been a big deal in the United States for about the last 3 to 5 years. A ton of companies listed themselves as publicly traded companies about 5 years ago. So there's a big stock market rush on CBD and marijuana and hemp producing companies. And now that those companies got funded several years ago and started growing and started making the extracts, now the United States is flooded with CBD extracts. And so there's literally thousands of companies popping up with CBD products. The reason why we're new to the CBD market is because, just like my other products, I'm highly competitive. Dallin only wanted the best, and so we did our homework and did our research and tried to find the most advanced delivery technology that we could find. We found one that was actually patented, clinically proving that it was more bioavailable, had increased organoleptics, and a time release even that other companies do not have. I made sure that it was organic compliant, so we went literally from the plant to the final package, ensuring that everything was, quality control measures all along the way. We made sure it was a non-genetically modified hemp strain, because there are genetic modifications in those to try to increase the CBD or increase the psychoactive THC properties of it. And that's another thing. We wanted one that was THC free. We wanted everybody to be able to take it. And most people don't want to get high. I don't know about that. I don't want to get high. I don't want my children getting high, So I don't want to inhibit my psychoactive responses. So we wanted a THC free product. And I understand that like stage 4 cancer patients or patients with severe chronic pain might want that THC because they want that out-of-body experience. They don't want to continue on in their suffering. Our product was made for daily use. It wasn't made for chronic cancer patients or things like that. So it is THC free. So those are kind of our unique points. We have a patented liposomal delivery system, plant to package quality control, THC free, but it's broad spectrum, so it contains not just CBD, but CBG, CBN, CBC, all of the other cannabinoids, as well as terpenes. And I formulated it in a unique way to where we've got ingredients that support the absorption of CBD as well. For example, I put papaya extract and pineapple extract in there, which contains papain and bromelain, which are two proteolytic enzymes that have clinical studies proving that they reduce inflammation and reduce pain markers. So you take the pain relieving effects of CBD and combine that with the bromelain and papain, and you have a better product. Plus we added some additional ingredients in there too. You can go through and read what each one of those do. And, you know, being an herbalist yourself, you would probably know what those do. So it's a great formula. Again, patented liposomal delivery, THC free. So hopefully when, you know, Australia does get around to legalizing it, they probably should have controls on THC containing products. That should be prescription only, because that's a narcotic, okay? And it has psychoactive properties. CBD, on the other hand, does not. There's no side effects to CBD. It's perfectly safe. Children can take it, pregnant and nursing mothers can take it. Your own body produces small amounts of CBD because you have an endocannabinoid system in your body. So CBD should be a dietary supplement. THC should be a drug. So hopefully your government will recognize that and create appropriate laws for that. But yeah, we came out with our product just a couple months ago, and it's raving. Everybody loves it. If I had to guess, I mean, there are so many companies in the United States selling CBD now. I would guess that we are probably one of the largest sellers of it, looking at our volume versus other companies' volume. And there are literally thousands of companies out there, and they're all probably under $1 million a year in sales. Then I would say we're probably one of the largest resellers of CBD in the United States right now. I don't know if we're the largest, but we're up there.
Wow. I mean, it's definitely exploded. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other questions, Leah?
I wouldn't mind if we could just touch on the detox, because our modern lives are so toxic. I'm interested in this product and would like to know a little bit more about it from you, just briefly, if that's okay.
Yeah, you're actually asking questions about one of my favorite products. We've touched on a couple of my favorite products, Core Complete being one of them. I love the Renew. I love the CBD, but I love detox. You know, unless, well, even, you know, I don't know a lot about Australia. My dad lived in Australia for a couple of years, so I've always been fascinated with it. My grandpa lived in Tasmania. So, you know, my dad lived in Perth for a while. And I would say, you know, yeah, okay, all right. Even if you're like in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere, there are still environmental pollutants. I mean, you guys have huge, you know, uranium mines, and you do a lot of mining in your outback areas and stuff. And I'm sure not lots of quality control measures have been taken in those areas, because they figure, well, nobody lives out here, so we can do what we want, you know. Our environment is flooded with pollutants. Your water is chlorinated and fluorinated. Even your clothing is petroleum-based clothing. If you wear, you know, nylon or rayon or polyester, those are all petroleum-based clothing. You know, you should look at silk and hemp-based clothing and linen and cotton and things like that, you know. So look at your environment. Look at what you do every day. Yeah, there you go. What shampoos are you using? What kind of toothpaste are you using? What kind of deodorants are you putting in your body? What type of herbs and pesticides and hormones are in your food products? Because we don't do that. Enlightened people do. But, you know, I don't want to say I'm enlightened. That just sounded like I was bragging. But no, I look at the deodorants that I use. I look at the shampoos that I use. I make my own bar soaps, which is easy to do, by the way. I mean, literally, one Saturday in my kitchen, I can make a year's supply of soap. So it's not an extensive process, you know, anyway, whatever. All I'm saying is we need Vtox. Yeah. That the average person needs Vtox, and Vtox was formulated to help the average person who doesn't think anything about what I was just talking about, you know, who drinks tap water out of their sink, who wears whatever clothing is on sale or what looks nice, who doesn't care about their deodorant or their shampoo or their skincare or whatever. Because we have 5 elimination organs. And that's it. That's all we got. And those elimination organs, they're working 24/7. And the more toxins you put into your body, the more they have to work. So Vtox was made as nutritional support for those 5 elimination organs to help your lungs, liver, skin, kidney, and colon eliminate waste. Especially as you get older, those organs start to wear down. I mean, we all know people with kidney problems, with colon problems, lung problems like asthma, you know, and breathing disorders, skin issues like eczema, psoriasis. These are elimination system disorders. And if I were to dive further into that, look at all of the endocrine system disorders. In fact, Google that word, endocrine system disorders. Endocrine system disorders are caused by toxins in our environment, and they include cancer, which, you know, right now in the United States, it's the #2 leading cause of death in the United States. And I assume it's a global issue, not just a United States issue. So that's what Vtox was formulated for. It's a great product. Use it every day. And it's inexpensive.
Yeah, even for people that are like myself, I'm a little bit addicted to detoxing. I'm a sensitive person, so still organic life and wearing cotton clothing, I still feel we need to detox our organ systems in our lives. So
Yep.
I'm really loving this product. So.
Oh, thanks so much, Tracy. I'm just mindful of time. I know you're a busy guy, and we are so grateful to have you on with us today. Yeah, we feel really honoured to be able to connect with you like this and hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, you are welcome, and thank you for having me on. It's been fun, and I hope, again, we can reach out to more Australians and let them know the difference that this company is. This is a legacy company. It's Dallin Larson's 3rd company. He's not in it for the money, and I think that makes all the difference. I think everybody knows most corporations are in it for the money. That's not Vaseo's purpose. It's a very different purpose. Look at our charitable organization, the charitable nonprofit platform that we have as well, how it's helping bring clean drinking water to children in Africa. And I think that's going to start expanding around the world too. We're not just going to focus on Africa. There are many countries who have clean water drinking issues. But that's where we're starting, because that's where the dire need is. I believe the stat I read was over 5,000 children every day in Africa die from waterborne diseases. So it's an incredible stat, and it's heartbreaking, but you know, that's what our company's all about, helping people. And you see that in our formulas, and you see that in the efficacy of our products. So thank you for allowing me to share that with the Australian people.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. Thank you again for your time. And yeah, just to sum up, we are so excited to have these beautiful products launching into Australia. If you are open to learning more about them, our company, and how you can link arms with us in pioneering in the Australian market, then please reach out with the person who shared this video with you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.